Whitecaps as we head to the bottom of the third inning here on the Whitecaps Radio Network.
Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle.
Moving to the bottom of the third inning, no score between the Whitecaps and Red Sox here at Red Wilson Field as the first pitch from Tony Losey, a fastball on the inside corner to Christian Koss, in for strike one. Aiden Doyle alongside Carter Waddell here on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Thank you for joining us for game one of this best-of-3 series between Brewster and YD. As an 0-1 fastball fouled off of home plate umpire Joe Caraco, and the count moves to 0-2. Righty-righty matchup between Losey and Koss. As Losey's through the windup and the 0-2 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. Koss down looking. He knew it the second it hit Mickey Gasper's mitt. And there's one away here in the bottom of the third.
That's the first strikeout for Losey, and that's his favorite pitch to put guys away with, that outside corner fastball to a righty. If he can locate that pitch, that's what starts getting him into a groove.
Losey loves painting that outside corner. Tries to set up that pitch by going inside and inside a bit more. Now the first pitch to the number 9 hitter, Darren Schrainer, misses down and away for ball one. Losey features four-seam fastball as well as a two-seam fastball, and he loves going to that outside corner with the two-seamer. As a 1-0 pitch fastball on the inside corner, Joe Caraco says that one. Check down the line. 3-1 the count. And this one hit on the ground, back up the middle, ranging to his right is Nick Dunn. Backhands it, throw on to first in time for out number 2. A nice play by Nick Dunn, who's primarily known as an offensive second baseman, but flashing the leather there. And there's 2 away here in the bottom of the third inning. Now back to the top of this Red Sox lineup. Nico Horner digging in. Another righty-righty matchup. Horner, first pitch swinging in his first at-bat, flew out to Hunter Bishop in center field. And this one looks like it clipped him on the right leg as he'll head on down to first base with a hit by pitch. So the Red Sox have a man aboard with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Didn't get a great piece of him. Just kind of danced out of the way, or at least tried to, and that one clipped the edge of his uniform.
That's tough for Losey because that breaks a string of 7 straight retired for him. Obviously, when you're a hurler, you never want to get a guy on base with just one errant pitch.
Now Kyle Isbell digs in from the left side. Losey comes set as Horner leads off of first. The first pitch, a fastball on the inside corner for strike one. Isbell walked in his first plate appearance. Worked a full count before taking a fastball high for ball 4. Losey now throws over to first base as Horner dives back with plenty of time. No score between the Red Sox and Whitecaps here at Red Wilson Field. 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd inning. 0-1 the count on Kyle Isbell, and the pitch. Fastball misses down and away, evens the count at 1-1. Like I talked about before the game, a little bit of a different umpiring setup here in the Cape League playoffs versus the regular season. Instead of a 3-man umpiring crew, it's 4 umpires. As the 1-1 pitch, runner goes. This one hit on the ground, foul down the first base line. Diving was Zach DeHagen, but doesn't matter as Nico Horner retreats back to first base and the count moves to 1-2.
Having that extra 4th ump, it has a lot of impact on the ball game. I mean, we were talking before this game started, Aiden, off the air about how tricky it can be when you've got an ump standing at second that's got to judge whether or not a guy went around if there's a lefty hitter at the plate like there is right now. I mean, if we had a 3-person umpiring crew, there'd be nobody at third to judge that sort of play, but now there is, and that's good news for Tony Losey if he wants to get a guy rung up.
1-2 the count. Losey ready. Runner goes again. Pitch misses downstairs. The throw from Gasper is in time. Mickey Gasper throws out Nico Horner trying to steal second, and that will do it for the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nico Horner caught stealing. No runs on no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 3rd. We've played 3 here at Red Wilson Field. Still no score between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox. We've got a pitcher's duel a-brewing here in Yarmouth, and you're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Brewster Whitecaps Radio Network.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world. We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth here. Game 1 of the Eastern Division semifinals, and Chandler Taylor fouls off the first pitch he sees from Andrew Quezada to begin the top of the 4th. No score yet in this ball game. Quezada for YD and Losey for Brewster have been as advertised so far in this game. Just 2 hits for the Red Sox, 2 hits for Brewster and none for the Red Sox, 0-1 to the lefty. Chandler Taylor is cut on and missed. Out in front of that off-speed pitch there was the man from Alabama. Taylor struck out swinging his last time up. Has been racking up the Ks a bit recently, as we were talking about before. He's a hit big or miss big kind of player. Counts 0-2 on Taylor. Here comes the pitch. Just misses off the plate to make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Missed with the fastball there did Quezada. Didn't seem like he was too infatuated with the call from Joe Caraco, the Cape League Umpire of the Year in 2012, behind the plate. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Cut on and miss for strike 3. Another off-speed pitch fooling Chandler Taylor there. So it's 2 Ks to start off the day for Taylor, and now it'll be Gasper's turn.
And we talked about it the first time he was up, and as well as when Graffinino struck out, it's just a sequence there from Quezada setting up that off-speed pitch down and away to a left-handed hitter. He's done an excellent job of it thus far, really locating that fastball earlier in the count to set up that slider down and away.
So here is Gasper, switch hitter, hitting from the left side. The pitch is grooved in there for strike number 1. Yeah, Quezada has been working a lot out of the pen here in YD, but he's a starter by trade. Had 15 appearances with Cypress College this spring. 14 of them were starts. 0-1 pitch. Misses up high to make the count 1-1. And so that means he's experienced using all of his stuff, putting together sequences like that when you know you're not just going in for an inning or 2 or 3 and just throwing the best stuff you can at him. 1-1 pitch, misses low in the dirt to make the count 2 balls and 1 strikes now on Gasper. Gasper has the only hit to the outfield for Brewster in this ball game. It was a hard hit double to right center with 2 outs in the first. 2-1 pitch is hit hard right side. It's right. Nice play by the first baseman, Rivas. He'll flip it over to a covering Quezada for out number 2. A terrific play from Alfonso Rivas, just grabbing that one as he slids to the dirt. And Mickey Gasper is robbed of a single or more for out number 2 of this 4th inning.
Well, this is why they tell us not to score the game in pen, because I was about halfway to writing that as a single for Mickey Gasper until Alfonso Rivas robbed them of that one there, the first base side. That was just a nice play by Rivas, who's primarily known, as to be an offensive stalwart in this Red Sox lineup from the left side. They're flashing the leather, though.
Here's Marty Costas, and the righty takes his first pitch down and in. Costas started things off with the ground ball right back to Quezada for his ball game. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Marty. Slow breaking ball that's in there for a called strike at the knees to make the count 1-1. Really seems like Quezada has terrific command of all of his pitches. He's got 3 of them that he'll use mainly, a fastball, a curve, and a change. And he doesn't have a ton of velocity, but those sequences can really get you. 1-1 pitch misses outside, another off-speed offering. So the count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Costas, who, as Aiden, you mentioned, has been on a tear as of late for the Whitecaps. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Check swing and a pitch away. He held up, so the count is 3 balls and 1 strike on Marty Costas. Costas' regular season average was checked in at 293. That's where it was for the regular season, which is really impressive for him. Even though he was doing pretty well the first half of the year, the average was low. 3-1 pitch is foul back to the screen to bring the count full. It was below the Mendoza line just 10 games ago. He was hitting something like 197. Had a reputation coming into the season as a guy who was a free swinger, had a lot of raw talent, but needed better plate discipline, and so far has really improved in that area. 3-2 pitch is chopped foul left side, out of play. We are in the top of the 4th inning, still yet to see a run in this first-round playoff series between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox. Game 1 being played under a gray overcast sky here in Yarmouth. Here comes the payoff pitch from Quezada. It's swung on and hit high in the air, foul toward the right side, out of play. So we'll do it again with the count full 3-2 on Marty Costas. The winner of this series will be facing the winner of Chatham and Orleans. Those are a couple of teams that play night games, so 7 o'clock games in that series. 3-2 pitch misses up high on a fastball, so it's a walk to Marty Costas. And the Whitecaps get another 2-out base runner here with Costas aboard.
Well, that was just a great job by Marty Costas working Quezada there, making him throw pitches, trying to throw strikes. Costas spoiling a couple of good pitches from the right-hander, and then eventually working the walk. And Michael Curry now stepping up to the box. He's a guy who can certainly put one out here at Red Wilson Field. So another powerful bat in this Whitecaps lineup.
As you mentioned, here is Curry, a right-handed hitter. Here comes the pitch. It misses low to make the count 1-0. Curry had a terrific game yesterday, not just for the team in terms of his contributions, but for him personally. We've talked about the home run that he hit, but he also was able to throw out a runner behind the plate, something he hasn't done in this entire calendar year 2017. As they check Costas at first, he dives back safely. Count still 1-0 on Curry. And you could tell when we were talking to him after the game that was important to him to kind of get that monkey off his back, and it was important to his teammates as well, who went nuts in the dugout when they saw it. Again, they fired over to first, but Costas dives back in time. Still 1 ball and no strikes on Curry. We're in the top of the 4th of a scoreless game here at Red Wilson Field. 1-0 pitch, cut on and missed. Made the count 1-1. Swung at the slider there, did Curry. Costas on first base was 7 out of 9 stealing bases in the regular season, taking an aggressive lead at first as usual for him. Waiting on a 1-1 pitch from Quezada. The righty holds the set. Here comes the 1-1. It misses low and away. Curry gives a nice nod there as he watches that pitch. 2-1 is the count. Curry, like his Bulldog teammate, Tony Lose, you never really have to wonder what he's thinking when he's digging in or anywhere on the baseball diamond. 2-1 is the count. And they check Casas again. He dives back in time. If you weren't with us, Nick Dunn was picked off back there on first base to end the inning. A lot of YD fans in this building thought he got picked off twice. 2-1 pitch is in there for a called strike on a breaking ball, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 men out here in the top of inning number 4. Scoreless game here in YD. Hunter Bishop is on deck for the Whitecaps, as Curry holds up his hand to signal to Joe Caraco that he needs some time to dig in. Now he's ready. Quesada getting the sign from trainer, now holds the set, and the righty deals 2-2. It's hit hard, a broken bat toward the right side. It's going to dunk in there for a base hit in right field. Casas holds up at second base. So it's a single 2-out hit again for Michael Curry, and it's first and second for Brewster.
Yeah, we talk about the strength of Curry, and there it was on display. Broken bat, kind of got jammed a little bit, didn't get a great piece of it, and was still able to just punch it out into right field. I mean, you talk about before that, Mickey Gasper had the only hit for the Whitecaps out into the outfield, which was an absolute rocket out into right center. And Curry there with a single to right field, and yet didn't hit it very hard at all. So just shows the raw, pure strength of Michael Curry.
Yeah, you think he probably would have gotten a little bit better wood on that. It sounded like he just didn't hit the right part of the baseball bat. 2-on, 2-out for Bishop. Pitch to the lefty is cut on and missed. A big swing at a breaking ball that he wound up golfing at. So the count is 0-1 on Bishop. It was a fastball that stymied Hunter Bishop his first time up. Swung and missed for strike 3. One of a total of 4 strikeout victims for the Whitecaps against Quesada today. Quesada holds the set with the count 0-1. The pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike on the outer edge. Counts 0-2 on Bishop. We're scoreless here, top of the 4th inning here in Game 1 of this first round series. Casas is on second, Curry on first base for the Whitecaps with 2 men out. Waiting on a 0-2 pitch. Here it comes from Quesada. Nope, he's going to step off and check the runner at second base. No throw over there that said Casas heading back to the bag. So it's 0-2. And Bishop will dig in again here. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. In there called, strike 3 on a fastball right on the inner edge. Hunter Bishop fooled in that at-bat, and that retires the side here in the top of the 4th. For Brewster in the top of inning number 4, no runs, 1 hit, and 2 runners left on. At the end of 3.5 here in Yarmouth, we are still scoreless. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Here are Carter Wedeel and Aiden Doyle. It'll be Kyle Isbell, Carlos Cortez, and Alfonso Rivas, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Red Sox lineup to try and break this 0-0 deadlock here as we enter the bottom of the 4th of this first round Game 1 between Brewster and YD. Tony Lose on the mound, and the righty will deal to the lefty Isbell, who swings and hits it into left center field. It's going to get down for the first Red Sox hit of the ball game. Marty Casas will scoop it up out there. Isbell takes a wide turn, but nothing more over at first base. The first hit of the game for Scott Pickler's team, and YD has the leadoff runner on here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Well, the last time the Whitecaps visited the Red Sox here at Red Wilson Field, William Tribuker had a no-hitter going for a while. Tony Losey's obviously not quite as long, just 3 innings of no-hit ball, but still always nice to see if you're a Whitecaps fan, that big 0 up on the scoreboard in the Red Sox hit column. Now just a 1, but...
So here is Carlos Cortez, and before Losey deals to him, he'll check the runner at first base, throwing over to Gahagan over there. Now, as you mentioned earlier, Scott Pickler loves to put on the steal sign for his club, as Losey will step off again as time is called, looked like by Cortez in the batter's box, granted by Joe Caraco at home plate. Whitey led the league with 68 stolen bases in the regular season. They also led the league in getting caught. 29 times was a Whitey runner caught stealing. And now Scott Pickler, who is coaching third base, as well as being the field manager for Whitey, is having a conversation with home plate umpire Joe Caraco. I guess they must be talking about whether it was a balk on Tony Losey, considering that was kind of a strange situation when Losey stepped off the mound, but time looked like it was called in that spot, and I think that's what Joe Caraco is explaining to Scott Pickler. In any case, it looks like whatever explanation needed to be given has been given, and Caraco's got his mask back on. Cortez has dug back in, and Losey holds the set, ready to deal to the man from South Carolina. The pitch is a drag bunt over toward the left side, scooped up by Datris, charging from third. He throws to first for the out, and moving up to second on the play is Kyle Isbell. Kind of a strange little swing there from Carlos Cortez. A half swing at it, kind of slapped. Something you usually see on the softball field there from Cortez, but it does move the runner up with 1 man out.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly a bunt, but it served the purpose of one, as Cortez kind of just checked his swing, got a piece of it, and nubbed it down the third base line towards Datris. So it goes as the out, and I don't think he's exactly intending to do that, but it still serves the purpose as Isbell moves to second.
Isbell's got plenty of speed over there at second base. We're scoreless here, bottom of the fourth inning here in game 1. Alfonso Rivas digging in the pitch. Misses down and in. So the count 1-0. Rivas started off his game by lining into an unassisted double play. One of the more exciting plays you'll see in baseball. Hit it straight to Zach Gahagan at first, who doubled off Carlos Cortez by trotting over to the bag. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's fouled back to the screen. So the count 1 ball and 1 strike on Alfonso Rivas. We've talked about how great Rivas has been against the Brewster Whitecaps so far this season. Put up just some eye-popping numbers at Arizona this past spring. And like a lot of the players here on McCabe, once he adjusted to the wood bat and the surroundings really started to heat up. Waiting on a 1-1 pitch, Losey checks the runner and deals. It misses low, and Gasper pops out of his crouch but won't do anything more. This is the sort of situation that Brewster worked a lot on. I know Jimmy Herron of the Orleans Firebirds was one speedy runner the Whitecaps were working hard to contain when he was on second base. But we saw Losey check the runner at second 3 times before he delivered that pitch. Waiting on a 2-1, checks him, and again will step off the mound and immediately gets back on to stare in and get the sign for the 2-1 offering. Losey holding the set, the pitch. Misses up high on a fastball. The count is 3-1. For a guy like Losey that seems to have been a little bit, I don't know if streaky is the right word, but he's had parts of his outings where he's really been in a groove. It can be tough for him to have to multitask here with the runner on second base that he's got to keep track of as well as the batter. 3-1 pitch. Misses up high for ball 4. So a couple of pitches left up there in a row there by Tony Losey, and Rivas works a walk. That is walk number 3 surrendered by Losey in this ballgame, and he's also plunked a batter.
Yes, well, I'm sure he doesn't like the walk. It's probably not the worst thing in the world now for the Whitecaps because it puts the double play back in order, and Rivas, like you mentioned, Carter, the guy who's really been a pain for this Whitecaps team, really been a thorn in their side, is now on first base, so Losey doesn't have to deal with him. So a ground ball here potentially gets you out of the inning.
Well, what it does do is if an extra base hit comes from Miller, we've got 2 speedy runners aboard. Pitch to the righty, Miller, is a fastball right in there for a strike, right down Broadway there from Tony Losey to make the count 0-1. Miller hit the ball hard his first time up, flew out to center field, but Hunter Bishop had to do some navigating out there in center field to grab it. And with the count 0-1, Miller will ask for time. Miller is another one of those guys that can play a few different positions for Scott Pickler. We've seen him at first base and in the outfield already this year, and now Miller is saying something to Tony Losey on the mound. I'm not sure what he could be saying. He called for time again. He'll dig back in. A little bit of a tense moment here. This is playoff baseball. We're scoreless here in the bottom of the 4th inning of game 1 of this first round series. Waiting on an 0-1 pitch. Losey still has a statue on the mound, and now time is called again by Miller, who will step out and take a couple of practice swings. Looks like there's a little bit of gamesmanship going on between these two players. Miller will adjust his batting gloves and the helmet and finally dig back in. First and second, one man out. It's 0-1. Losey holds the set, checks the runner at second and deals. It's hit on the ground right side, moving to his left and fielding it is done. He will have only one play. He goes to first, and Gahagan did get it before he dropped it. They said he had possession of the baseball, so he's out at first base. Gahagan did drop that baseball, but first base umpire Mark Ottavianelli said he did have possession, which is all you need, so that's the second out.
Well, nice play there by Dunn, range into his left to make sure, get the short out. Look towards second. Wasn't exactly a sure thing as to whether or not they'd be able to get Rivas and get the out at first. But a bit of a break there for the Whitecaps as Gahagan did drop it. But again, on the transfer, said first base umpire Mark Ottavianelli. So it does go as an out, but I'm sure a little bit more heart-wrenching, anxious than Whitecaps fans would have hoped for.
Zach Gahagan was charged with an error in the ninth inning of the game 2 days ago in game 44. Carter Ferris now digging in, the UAB Blazer DH for the Red Sox today. It's second and third and two men out. You get the feeling one big hit could win this ball game the way these pitchers are working, in a big spot here for Ferris. The pitch to the right-hander is a fastball in there for a called strike. And for Tony Losey in a big spot like that, getting that fastball in for strike one is so important. Now he can play the rest of his game against this righty hitter. Losey stares in, gets the nod. Here comes the 0-1. Misses outside, so it's 1-1.
And it also puts more pressure on Gasper behind the plate because there is some room here behind home plate at Red Wilson Field, and it's a chain link fence, not a brick wall like some ballparks have. So the ball isn't going to carry him back towards home plate, so he's really got to block everything in the dirt.
Waiting on a 1-1 from Losey. Here it comes. It's hit high in the air, foul ground right side. Gahagan giving chase, but it's out of his reach. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. We are scoreless here in the bottom of inning number 4. YD with second and third and 2 men out. And Carter Ferris, who flew out to center field his last time up, digging in. Now with the count 1-2, you have to imagine Losey's thinking about placing that two-seamer. He holds the set. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball, and it misses down and in. Make the count 2-2. Good eye there from Carter Ferris. That's tough to see, especially if you're a right-handed hitter. So the count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 men on. Losey holds the set once again. Here comes the pitch. It's fouled away toward the right side. That looked like it was a fastball on the outer edge. But Ferris was able to stick the barrel of the bat out and spoil it. So the count remains 2-2. Losey with just the 1 strikeout in his outing today has only given up 1 hit, but has allowed 4 other base runners to reach, 3 via the walk and 1 that he hit. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball looped into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run scores. Rounding third base is Alfonso Rivas. The throw coming in from Casas in left field is not in time. He will score with the second run. They throw down to second base. Out at second base trying to stretch it is Carter Ferris. But it's a 2-run single for Ferris to finish things in the bottom of the 4th inning. And YD gets a pair of runs on 2 hits, and they leave nobody on base. At the end of 4 innings of play, it's now 2-0 Red Sox. A big hit for Ferris in this ball game. At the end of 4, the Red Sox lead 2-0. You're listening to Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps baseball. Here are Carter Wedeal and Aiden Doyle. Back at game one, a huge two-run single for Carter Ferris has made it a 2-0 game here between Brewster and YD with the Red Sox on top. For Brewster here as we start the fifth inning, it's going to be the bottom third of the order, starting off with Kyle Datris, the right-handed hitter against Andrew Quezada. And the pitch from Quezada just misses down and in to make the count 1-0. Brewster is fighting an uphill battle against history in this playoff series. YD, of course, are the three-time defending champions of the league. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Cut on and missed. Out in front of that one was Datris, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And as for Brewster on their side, they haven't won a playoff series since they won the title back in 2000. That was the last series they've won in the Cape League playoffs. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from the righty Quezada. Check swing on a pitch that was low. They appealed to first base, and he went around. So says Mark Ottavianelli over there at first. So it's 1-2 now on Kyle Datris, the man from the University of North Carolina. Now for Brewster, that no wins in most series, it's kind of a little bit harsh for them. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's hit hard into left field, moving over, and that's going to get down for a base hit out in left center field. A collision there between the outfielders, but Datris will hang around at first base as Cortez, the left fielder, came in. The center fielder, Isbell, was there. It was a little looper into left center. They are going to call time, but it looks like Cortez is going to get up and walk it off. So it's a single for Kyle Datris to lead things off here in the fifth inning.
And that's exactly what this team needs right now. Respond here in the top of the fifth inning. Obviously, they were just 1 strike away from getting out of it in the bottom of the fourth until the 2-run single. Nice play at second, got the runner out, held it to just 2 runs for the Red Sox. But if they can bounce back, they don't even necessarily have to tie it, but just get 1 here in the top of the fifth.
Lefty Graffinino hits one hard on the first pitch down to the right center field. It's going to be cut off nicely by the center fielder Isbell. So it's just a single for Graffinino, and Datris will hang on at second base. That was a nice play by Isbell. Read that ball well down to right center field and was able to track it down. But 2 hard-hit singles mean that Brewster has first and second for the 9-hitter Zach Gahagan.
That was a nice job by Graffinino there, staying back on that breaking ball from Quezada, lining it out into right center field. That's his strength. It's not going to be a guy, maybe here at Red Wilson Field he could do it, but he's not going to be one to tie this game up with 1 swing of the bat. Stay back on that breaking ball, just go with it, line it out into right center field. That's his biggest strength, is hitting line drives into the gaps.
So here is Gahagan hitting from the right side. Another Tar Heel. First and second, nobody out. It's 2-0 Red Sox as Gahagan bunts it foul toward the left side. Gahagan a little lucky, but that one went foul. It wasn't the best bunt. It stayed up in the air, but it did go wide of the third base line. So the count's 0-1 on Gahagan, trying to catch the defense off guard there. Whitecaps trailing YD 2-0 here in the bottom of inning number 4. Top of the order on deck for Brewster, starting with Nick Dunn. I wonder if they'll ask Gahagan to bunt again here with the count 0-1. A guy who has been very good at getting on base in his past few games. And as we've talked about earlier in this ball game, they're going to throw to second and check on Datris, but he'll dive back in time. And the count is 0-1. You can tell that the switch has kind of been flipped from regular season ball to playoff baseball. Now, I know with Scott Pickler, there's going to be a lot of different, managerial decisions, bunts and steals and checking the runner over. But Brewster's been doing them as well. We saw that gamesmanship with Losey and Miller earlier in that bottom of the 4th inning. Every play has become more important here in this ball game. 0-1 pitch. Skips in front of the catcher and gets away from Trainer and all the way back to the backstop. The runners will each move up a base. That's a wild pitch. It went maybe 58 feet. Bounced in front of home plate, and Trainer couldn't corral it off of his chest protectors, so that's a huge wild pitch. Moves Datris over to third, Graffinino to second, and takes the double play away as well.
Takes the double play away, and it also allows Gahagan to be a free swinger now up at the plate. Instead of, having to maybe lay down a sacrifice bunt, now it does its job, and you still have a guy who has reached base in 7 of his last 9 plate appearances up at the bat, ready to swing the bat, nobody out, 2 runners in scoring position.
So with first base now open, second and third, nobody out. The count is 1-1 on Gahagan. The pitch is fouled back to the screen. Gahagan looked like he wished he could have gotten a little bit more on that, shaking his head as he kicks some dirt in the opposite batter's box, thinking he got a pitch to hit. Was a fastball over the plate, but just fouls it straight back behind him. So the count is 1-2 on Gahagan. Coming off a regular season where he hit .220, but he had over the past few games of the year. Jamie Shevchik riding the hot hand, putting him in at the 9 spot. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a high chopper toward the left side, but third baseman Koss charges, throws to home plate, but tag is made, and he is out at the plate. A terrific play by Christian Koss to go to the catcher trainer and nab Kyle Datras at home plate, and that is the first out of this 5th inning.
We talk about Koss as a guy who plays all around the diamond, and there he's showing off his versatility once again at third base, making the play, fielded on a high hop. Datras trying to dive around the catcher trainer and get that left hand in towards the back part of home plate, but an accurate throw from Koss home and a nice tag by trainer to get Datras at home.
Number 39, Nick Dunn.
So staying at second base on the play is Graffinino. Gehagen is now at first base, and at the top of the Brewster order and Nick Dunn, and the double play is back in order here for the Red Sox and Andrew Quezada. And Quezada will step off the mound and check on the runner at second, A.J. Graffinino. We've seen some runners in scoring position, a lot of them considering the low score here. It's 2-0 with YD on top here in the top of the 5th. And we have seen a lot of pitchers stepping off. Both of these teams have speed. Brewster was 3rd in the league in stolen bases, YD 1st in the regular season. They're going to throw to first base, and Gehagen will dive back in time. So interesting going with the non-lead runner there, though we have seen a couple of Whitecaps get tagged out on plays like that. I know we saw Mickey Gasper get tagged out at one point. There comes the pitch to the lefty Dunn. It's hit on the ground right side. It's going to get through into right field past the diving second baseman Horter for a base hit. Hustling around third base is Graffinino. The throw comes in from right field, and he's safe at the plate. Graffinino gets in under the tag. It's a ribby single for Nick Dunn, and the Whitecaps have cut the lead in half. It's now 2-1.
Well, that was a heck of a slide from A.J. Graffinino, recognizing, going towards the outer part of the plate, and great communication from Chandler Taylor, too, recognizing it's going to be a close play at the plate, directing his base runners coming towards home. Hey, go outside part of the plate. Trainer's got the inside part locked off, and you love Mickey Gasper there, who is now on deck as Taylor steps in with a big emphatic yes, the second Graffinino scored. He's been the vocal leader on this team all year, and it's not changing at all once we get to the playoffs.
Darren Trainer is a terrific defensive catcher. It does take some coaching, some extra pointers to get around him because the throw did beat him. It was up a little bit high, and Graffinino was able to get under the tag. So here is Chandler Taylor digging in from the left side. First and second, still just one man out here in the top of the 5th. It's now 2-1 YD. Here in game 1 of this playoff series. The pitch is hit hard through the middle. It's into center field for a base hit. Zach Gehagen is held up at third base by Ryan Smythe as Isbell, the center fielder, threw a strike to Darren Taylor behind the plate. But a hard hit single loads the bases for the Whitecaps MVP, Mickey Gasper.
Well, this is about as good a situation as you can have right now. Obviously, only the one out on the play at the plate. And Mickey Gasper, you had a fly ball hitter in Taylor up, and now you have more of a line drive hitter in Mickey Gasper. And he has a knack for coming through in situations like this. We talked about trying to get 1 run back in this inning just as a response to the 2 from YD. Well, this is a prime opportunity to get even more than that.
Gasper had 30 runs batted in the regular season, 2nd in the Cape Cod League. Only Steven Scott of the Firebirds had more. The pitch to the switch hitter hitting left misses low. Nicely done by Darren Trainer behind the plate to scoop that one up. It was in the dirt, kind of a tricky play. And the count is 1-0. Gehagen is on third, Dunn on second, and Chandler Taylor on first base for the Whitecaps with one man out. Brewster trailing 2-1. 1-0 pitch. Misses inside on an off-speed offering from Quezada. And now the count is 2-0 on Mickey Gasper. Marty Costas is on deck for the Whitecaps. He's had so many clutch hits for Brewster this season. This is the part of the order that you want in a big spot like this for Brewster. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Just misses inside. Gasper kind of turned away when that pitch came across. He knew it was going to be close, but he gets the call from Joe Caraco, and Quezada took a couple of steps in front of the pitcher's mound trying to reset. He clearly was a little bit frustrated with Caraco's decision. So it's 3-0 on Gasper. No place to put him with the bases full. The pitch. Misses up high for ball 4, and the ball game is tied. It's a bases-loaded walk for Mickey Gasper. Gehagen comes in to score from third, and Costas will come up with the bases still full, and the game tied at 2.
Well, Mickey Gasper knows how to work counts. He knows how to see pitches. That's been what Coach Shevchik has talked about all year long with him, is that he approaches at-bats. He approaches every time he steps into the batter's box with that confidence. He knows the strike zone. He's disciplined, and they're just a great job laying off pitches. not all, I mean, a couple of them were, but not all of them were, way outside. Those were close pitches there, especially balls 3 and 4, and a great eye by Mickey Gasper to work the walk. It's a whole new ball game. Bases still loaded, 1 out, and a guy who, like we talked about, Carter, Marty Casas, it continues to swing a hot bat as well, stepping into the box.
Yeah, this has to be big for Marty Casas. We are seeing a meeting on the mound here as Quezada's getting some advice out there. Casas we've talked a lot about how red hot he has been for the Brewster Whitecaps. And, of course, if you ask him, he'll say that he's not a clutch player. He'll say he's just trying to go out and put the bat on the ball. But he has had the good fortune to come up in a lot of key situations. We've seen 2 walk-off home runs. I'll give him the one that happened in that game against Harwich. The game didn't end on that homer, but it was the bottom of the 8th, and a couple of more clutch hits for him already this season. So with 2 runs in the frame and the game tied at 2, here's the first pitch to the righty, and it's in there for a called strike. Nicely located opening pitch there from Andrew Quezada. 0-1 the count. Bases full of Whitecaps here in the top of the 5th. Tied at 2 here in Game 1. Been a terrific game of baseball here in Yarmouth. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, just half swung at it on a breaking ball low. Clearly was fooled with the timing, and the count is 0-2 on the man from the University of Maryland. Casas so far today has a ground ball out back to the pitcher and then worked to walk in the 4th inning. Behind him, a count 0-2 here. Quezada deals 0-2. It misses up high on a fastball to make the count 1-2. Trying to get Casas to chase, but he does not bite. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Quezada has looked really composed on the mound, despite this inning being a tough one for him. 2 runs already in for the Whitecaps. 1-2 pitch. Misses low to make the count 2-2. Another slider that Casas was able to lay off. And I tell you what, we talked a lot about how Casas was a free swinger when he first arrived in Brewster. You wonder if Marty Casas a month or 2 ago would have swung at that pitch. But in his past 10 games, you were mentioning the strikeout to walk numbers, which were really the most impressive thing. Only 2 Ks in his past 10 games. 2-2 pitch is swung on and lifted in the air towards shallow right field. Coming in is the right fielder, and he will make the grab. Tagging from third base and heading home is Nick Dunn. The throw will be cut. It's going to be safe at the plate. Just getting in time is Nick Dunn. So Casas steps up and does his job and delivers a sacrifice fly, gets a run batted in, and the Whitecaps have a 3-2 lead in the 5th.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need there. With just 1 out, you want the fly ball. If you're not going to get a hit, the fly ball does its job. Marty going the opposite way to right field. It was a good throw from Miller, and the attack from Trainer just misses the back of Nick Dunn. It was another close play at the plate. Seems to be a theme here tonight at Red Wilson Field, these close plays. But hey, that's exactly what you need. What a nice inning for the Whitecaps, just stringing together hits. Think about it. No extra base hits in the inning. 3 runs.
Taylor tagged and moved to third. Gasper stayed put at first. So it's runners at the corners for the righty hitting Michael Curry. Here's the pitch to Curry. Swing and a miss. Out in front of that one again from Quezada. And the count is 0-1. Quezada just hasn't quite been able to put hitters away in this frame like he did in the first 4 frames, where he just breezed through 4 scoreless innings, only 3 hits allowed, and scattered them in 3 separate innings. 0-1 pitch, steps off the mound, throws over to first. Strange little move there from Quezada. Check the runner at third first. That might be one of those moves that you can't do in the big leagues, but you can do at the collegiate level. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball dropped in for strike 2. Curry took a look over at Joe Caraco, the home plate umpire, after that call, but I think it was more out of frustration. That looked like it was dropped in there, and Curry didn't quite have the best look at it. Now he takes a deep breath to reset. Behind him, the count 0-2. 2 men out. Whitecaps ahead 3-2 here in the top of the 5th inning of Game 1. And Curry will call for even more time now to try and dig his way into the batter's box. Caraco gives the signal. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Misses outside. Makes the count 1-2. That was about at belt high there from Quezada, but did miss. Trainer didn't spend too much time framing it behind the plate. The catcher for the Red Sox. And with a 1-2 count, here comes the pitch. And he's going to check the runner again, and he's safe. Diving back is Mickey Gasper. Looked like Gasper was fooled by that move from Quezada. Kind of weird stutter step on the mound. But Gasper was able to reverse course and dive back in time. So it's still 1-2 on Curry. Here comes the pitch. Gasper is going for second. The pitch is way up high, and Gasper will take second base. Nice job by Trainer to just get his glove on that high fastball. And Gasper gets a stolen base. Only had 1 in the regular season. but gets one there. It's now second and third for Brewster with the count 2-2.
Well, there's a guy who can really do it all there, swiping second. I know there's no throw down, but hey, looks good in the stat sheet.
So the count 2-2 on Curry. Very sweet at third base as well. And Taylor, the pitch is cut on and missed way out in front of that one, and they tag him out to complete the strikeout. So Michael Curry goes down swinging, but the Whitecaps make their mark here in the top of the fifth inning. They come right back and get 3 runs in the frame. They get them on 4 hits, and they leave 2 runners on. At the end of 4.5 innings of play here at Red Wilson Field, the Whitecaps lead the Red Sox 3-2. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle. We welcome you back to Game 1 at Red Wilson Field. Well, a hell of an answer for Brewster in the top of the fifth inning. They put up 3 runs to take a 3-2 lead after YD got 2 in the bottom of the fourth. And leadoff hitter for YD, Connor Kaiser, takes a strike from Tony Losi on the first offering. It's the bottom third of YD's order due up here in the fifth. Kaiser, Koss, and Trainer to be exact. Kaiser's a righty hitter. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's hit high in the air toward foul ground in the right field line. It's going to get out of play. So quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 on the righty hitter is Tony Losi. That's right where he likes to be. Losi gave up those 2 runs on a ribby single from Carter Ferris. Both of the runs coming in on that single. Ferris was tagged out at second base trying to stretch on that play. 0-2 pitch coming. It's hit high in the air, a pop fly toward the right side. Gahagan, the first baseman, strolls into foul ground, gets under it, and makes the catch for out number 1. Maybe a step or 2 to the right, and the foul side of the first base bag was Gahagan when he made that play. So Kaiser's retired for out number 1 of the bottom of the fifth. Christian Koss will now dig in for the YD Red Sox. Koss so far today has a strikeout to his name. The only strikeout from Tony Losi in this ball game. Pitch to the righty is fouled away behind the plate. Just barely got a piece. Did Christian Koss. So it's 0-1 as Losi leaps to get the throw from Mickey Gasper over back to the mound. Does pull it down. 0-1 the count on Koss. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fouled away behind the plate. So again, Losi ahead in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes. 3-2, Whitecaps ahead in the bottom of inning number 5. This has been a terrific baseball game so far. Started off as a pitcher's duel through 3.5, but the offensives have woken up. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Misses high and tight to make the count 1-2. Does look like there's some action in the Red Sox bullpen as Brendan Nail is taking some warm-up pitches out there in the bullpen out in left field. 1-2 pitch. Misses low to make the count 2-2. And one of the benefits of Tony Losi for playoff baseball is that he knows how to grind. He knows how to go deep into ball games. Not afraid to run up his pitch count. 2-2 pitch. Misses just off the plate inside to make the count full. So a terrific eye here from Christian Koss. Was behind 0-2, but has come back to run the count full. And here comes the payoff from Losey. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Mickey Gasper for strike number 3. So Koss strikes out for the second time in his ball game tonight. And Losey has the first 2 hitters retired quickly here in the bottom of the 5th.
I think if you talk to Tony Losey, he'd rather face Christian Koss every at-bat there. His only 2 strikeouts of the game have come against him, one looking, one swinging. Thayer did a great job changing eye levels, changing speeds as well. Set up that off-speed pitch with a fastball.
Here's the righty Darren Trainer, and McEtcher takes his first pitch outside to make the count 1 ball and no strikes. Trainer grounded out to second his first time up in the 3rd. The man from Lewis Clark State took a medical red shirt this past spring after getting Tommy John surgery in April of 2016. 1-0 pitch. Misses low to make the count 2-0. He's been excellent defensively for YD. That's why he's in the lineup, is the way he plays behind the plate. Here comes the 2-0 offering. It's hit hard to looper right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. So Darren Trainer has his first hit of the ball game. A little looper in front of the right fielder Taylor. It's a 2-out hit for YD. Runner on first with the top of the order coming up.
And you talk about Tony Losey being kind of the horse of this Whitecaps rotation. That's very true. His last start, actually no, his last real start. I mean, he had a start the other day where he only went 2 innings, threw 2 perfect innings, but because it was scripted innings, he came out after those 2 innings. But the last one where he basically said, hey, go as far into this game as you can, threw 8 innings of shutout ball against the Kettleers.
So here's the righty Horner, takes a pitch inside, 1-0.
And he threw 118 pitches in that outing, so certainly a guy capable of hitting the triple digits on the pitch count.
And with those 2 perfect innings, not taking up a lot of that. He's very well rested heading into this outing. 1-0 pitch is hit hard to center field. Moving back is Bishop, still heading back to the wall, and it's off the wall. Right behind him in straightaway center field. Rounding third base is Darren Trainer being waved home. The throw will come in. It's cut off there at second base, and he's safe diving back. But it's an RBI double for Nico Horner, and the Red Sox have tied the ball game up just like that. It's 3-3.
Well, here at Red Wilson Field, it's very shallow to center field like we've talked about, Carter. And that ball just driven out to center field off the wall. I don't think Hunter Bishop got a great jump on it there and allowed it to go right off of the fence here at Red Wilson Field. Just a nice piece of hitting there by the YD second baseman. That's why he's at the top of this order. That's why he's been the main fixture in this Red Sox lineup all year.
We saw him hit the ball hard to center field his first at-bat as well. Bishop was able to grab it that time, but you're right. I know you've said in the booth before, Aiden, that the hardest ball to field is the one that's hit straight at you, and that looked like that was kind of what stymied Hunter Bishop out there in center. So runner on second, 2 men out. The pitch to Kyle Isbell, the center fielder himself, speaking of, misses low to the lefty hitter. Isbell singled and scored his last time up, scored the first run of the game in the bottom of the 4th. It's now 3 apiece here in Game 1. Bottom of inning number 5. Losey holding the set, checks the runner twice, the 1-0 pitch. In there for a called strike at the knees. Well-located heater there from Tony Losey to even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nico Horner's got plenty of speed on second base. Waiting on a 1-1 pitch, here it comes. It skips in front of Gasper. He blocks it nicely to make the count 2 balls and 1 strike on Kyle Isbell. Isbell's yet to be retired. He walked his first time up in the first inning. Losey's working quickly here on the mound, nods to Gasper, checks the runner, and here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's in on the ground softly toward the right side. Gahagan, the first baseman, will scoop it up and flip to a covering Losey, who gets to the bag in time to retire his side. So no further damage in this 5th inning, but YD ties the game up on an RBI double from Nico Horner. 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 left for YD in the 5th. At the end of 5 innings of play here in Yarmouth, we're tied at 3 here in Game 1. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network.
Number 28.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu. We welcome you back to Yarmouth. Well, the day is done for Andrew Quezada. He has been relieved after 5 innings of work, gave up 3 runs to the Whitecaps all in that 5th inning, and he will be replaced by Brendan Nail, the man from Western Carolina, a catamount and a terrific player. When I was talking to the YD Red Sox broadcasters before this ball game, his name got thrown out there as a possible guy to be in the rotation for this playoff series, but clearly that's not what's happening as he's brought in relief. Terrific numbers in the regular season on McCabe, a 1.04 ERA in 16 appearances out of the pen. 26 innings pitched. He gave up just 15 hits in those 26 frames, walked 14, but struck out 32. He's a guy who's got a good fastball, and he is not afraid to use it. He will face Hunter Bishop, Kyle Datris, and A.J. Graffinino to start off the top of the 6th inning, with the game tied at 3 here in Game 1. YD jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the 4th inning on a 2-run single. That was off the bat of Carter Ferris. Brewster responded with 3 runs in the 5th inning, but YD fired right back in the bottom half on the ribby double from Horner, and that's where we stand. It's 3-3. Hunter Bishop, a lefty, against the lefty Brendan Nail. And the pitch misses up high to the Arizona State Sun Devil. Bishop perhaps thankful that Andrew Quezada has been taken off the mound. He was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against him early in this ball game. 1-0 the count. Nail staring in. Here's the pitch. It misses up high to make the count 2-0. Nail was a starter with the Catamounts this past spring. Struck out 100 batters in 87 2/3 for Western Carolina over the course of the spring campaign. 2-0 pitch. Misses low to Bishop. So the count 3-0 on Brendan Nail. His Achilles heel, kind of like Tony Losi, is that he sometimes walks more guys than he would like. But so far this year has been able to reel all that in. Fun guy to watch. Very attacking style on the mound. 3-0 pitch. Misses low for ball 4. Not a lot to hit at there for Hunter Bishop. Didn't have to test his eye very much. And Brendan Nail's outing starts off with a 4-pitch walk, and Bishop is aboard.
And if there's anybody who he's going to have trouble against, it's these Brewster Whitecaps. This Brewster Whitecaps team led the Cape League in walks. The gap between them and the second-place team was actually greater than the second-place team and the last-place team. I believe it was 43-42 as far as the gap between first and second and 10th.
Here is Datris hitting from the right side. Nail holds the set, checks Bishop at first base, does the left-hander. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a called strike. So Nail able to groove a fastball in there. Yeah, Brewster 360 on base percentage as a team, driven by all those walks. That, too, was the best mark on the Cape in the regular season. We're tied at 3 here, top of the 6th. Datris singled his first time up for the Whitecaps, but then was tagged out at the plate later in the inning. Waiting on an 0-1. Here it comes. It misses low and inside. So it evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bishop does have speed over at first base. 8 out of 13 this year stealing bases. He seems to have gotten the hang of it recently. Was caught 3 of his first 6 times on the Cape. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. In there for a called strike on the inner edge. Well located from Brendan Nail with the fastball. And the count is 1-2. Nail does have a slider and a curve that he will use, but the fastball, which sits in the low 90s, is his bread and butter. Really on the heavy side, that pitch. And he holds the set with the count 1-2. And they will throw over to first base to check on Bishop, who gets back with plenty of time standing up. Still 1-2 the count. We mentioned before Brewster's poor postseason record kind of going up against history in this game. Whitecaps 9 of 26 all time, 9-26 in the playoffs, and haven't won a series since they won the title in 2000. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's fouled away left side, so it's still 1-2 on Datris. But Brewster, of their 13 playoff appearances, they've been knocked out by the eventual champ 10 times. The 13 times they've been knocked out. So for the Whitecaps, you have to think that luck maybe hasn't been quite on their side and the folks that they've been matched up with in the postseason. Count still 1 ball and 2 strikes on Datris. We are in the top of the 6th, and we're tied at 3 here in Yarmouth. Nail staring in. Gets the sign. Runner going for second. The pitch is hit on the ground left side. The shortstop, Kaiser, fields it and has only one play at first base. He throws across and gets the out there. But Bishop does move over to second on the play. So the Whitecaps have a runner in scoring position and one man out for A.J. Graffinino.
That's the hardest hit sacrifice bunt I've ever seen. Ground ball to shortstop. Nice play there by Kaiser over there in the hole, throwing out Datris at first base. But again, it serves the same purpose. Now you still have a runner in scoring position, just one out. And here with Graffinino, he's got to just stick to that same approach that he had the single in his last at-bat. Just kind of drive something into right over the heads of either shortstop or the second baseman. He's a line drive hitter. That's where he's going to find his most strength.
Graffinino 1 for 2 with that single to score a run in that 3-run fifth for Brewster. Runner on second, one man out. The pitch to the lefty. Skips in front of the catcher Trainer who blocks it. So 1-0 the count on Graffinino. We've seen a lot of pitches in the dirt early on in this outing for Brendan Nail, who will wipe off his hands and get ready to go with the count 1-0 on A.J. Graffinino. There is more action out in the bullpen for YD. Nail staring in. Checks the runner twice. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Check swing on a pitch that was low. He went around, says home plate umpire Joe Caraco. Pretty obvious there from Bishop. Did his best to hold up, but the ship had sailed, so to speak. It's Carl Kaufman warming up for the Red Sox. The right-hander had a 1.27 ERA in the regular season. Plenty of excellent bullpen arms on Scott Pickler's club, one of the real strengths of this YD team. 1-1 is the count on Graffinino. And here comes the pitch. Cut on and missed. Way out in front of that breaking ball was Graffinino. Nail finally took something off and fooled the man from Washington, so it's 1-2. We're even at 3 in the top of the 6th inning. Hunter Bishop, who has speed, is aboard second base with one man out. Graffinino struck out his first time in this ball game. Will hit .256 in the regular season, including 15 runs batted in for Brewster, hitting 8th in Jamie Shevchik's lineup in this ball game today. Nail holds the set with the count 1-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. And again, seemed to take a little bit off of that one, and A.J. Graffinino was out in front. First strikeout for Nail. The first out he's recorded, or the second out that he's recorded, got the one on the fielder's choice as well. And now Gahagan will dig in.
We've seen Nail feature that breaking ball early on in this inning, and that seems to be his go-to pitch. But there, you said it, Carter. He took a little bit off it, but it wasn't quite a breaking ball. It looked more like fastball action out of the left hand. And Graffinino was just a bit out in front of it.
So here is Zach Gahagan, who has continued his streak of reaching base. He's reached base both times today on an infield single and reached on a fielder's choice. The first pitch to him misses a bit up, and Gahagan gives a nod, perhaps a little smile for him. You can tell he's feeling good. He was really out of sync at the plate for really his first month as a Brewster Whitecap when he was brought in. Jamie Shevchik has always praised what Zach Gahagan has done for his team off the field, but now on the field is finally getting his timing right. Waiting on a 1-0 pitch from Nail. Here it comes. And therefore a called strike at the knees. And the count is 1-1 on Zach Gahagan. The man from the University of North Carolina, returner for Brewster, really is one of those guys that just plays a role that you can't find in the box score. He's able to play anywhere on the diamond and is a terrific teammate in the dugout. 1-1 pitch. Misses low. Trainer whips off the mask. It was in the dirt, but no advance from Hunter Bishop. So the count 2 balls and 1 strike. We're tied at 3 here, top of the 6th inning. Seems like the sun might be coming out just a little bit over behind home plate. It's been gloomy and overcast all day here in Yarmouth, but the sun is trying its best to peek through the clouds, which is helpful with the stadium. It doesn't have any lights. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It misses low. So the count 3-1 on Gahagan, with Bishop on second and 2 men out. Wind continuing to blow out towards straightaway left field, where there's plenty of room in center field, almost no room out there. 3-1 is the count on Zach Gahagan, the right-handed hitter. Nail staring in, gets the sign from Trainer. Bishop dancing over on second, and Nail will step off for a minute and reset. But the count 3-1. Nick Dunn is on deck for Brewster, and with him the top of the Whitecaps lineup, which had a terrific 5th inning. The ribbies coming from Dunn, Gasper and Costas, and Taylor singled in between. They did their job in that 3-run fifth for Brewster. Now it's Gahagan who will call for some time. With the count still 3 balls and 1 strike. Nail brushes some dirt off of the rubber with his cleats. Now is ready to go again. Gets the signal from Joe Caraco to play ball. Gets the sign. 3-1 is the count. And here comes the pitch. It misses low for ball 4. So Zach Gahagan reaches base once again for the Whitecaps. It's now first and second for Brewster with 2 men out.
He just seems so much more comfortable at bat than he had, like you talked about, Carter, for about his first month back with the Whitecaps. Just a lot more easy going in the batter's box. I mean, he's a pretty easygoing guy, so it's hard to be even easier going than he typically is, but just seems more comfortable, a little bit more loose up at the plate than what he had his first couple months. And I think it's showing is that he's not only hitting the ball better, but he's also working walks more, just seeing the ball better. Even when he's getting out, he's putting it in play and he's making better contact.
First pitch to Dunn is fouled away toward the left side. Giving it a look was the third baseman Koss, but it's well out of his reach and over into the folks in the stands. Some applause out there. I think somebody was able to grab that ball on the fly. Not easy to do, especially with a tricky looper like that and the overcast sky.
And it's being blocked by the bleachers, so I'm not sure that person can actually see the ball until it's basically right on top of them.
Maybe you should go out in the outfield here. 0-1 is the count on Nick Dunn. Nail stares in. It's 2-on and 2 out for Brewster. First and second. We're tied at 3. In game number 1, we're on the top of inning number 6 in a game that slowed down pretty considerably here as the at-bat starts to become more important. Nail once again steps off. Kind of feigns a throw over there to second, but won't let go of the baseball. 0-1 is the count. Nick Dunn so far today, last time up, had an RBI single on the hole. He is 1 for 3. 0-1 is the count with 2 men out. The pitch. Misses up high to Dunn. Makes the count 1-1. Nail working very slowly here on the mound. Out of the windup, he is kind of an attacking pitcher, but here with speed on the base paths, and I think he knows, just as everybody else on the field knows, how important these runs are. I know we've seen runs get scored in 3 of the past 3 half innings, but the 1-1 pitch misses outside to make it 2-1. But you still get the feeling, especially in a small ballpark like this, that one hit could be the difference in this ball game here, as we are tied at 3 in the top of the 6th, and Darren Trainer goes out with a couple of words of advice for Nail. Count now 2-1 on Nick Dunn, the slugger from Maryland. Does everything for the Whitecaps. Chandler Taylor is on deck for Brewster. 2 on and 2 out. Nail holds the set and delivers 2-1. It's a high chopper toward the right side, but second baseman Horner fields and throws to first base in time for out number 3. So that retires a side for Brewster. The Whitecaps failed to put a run across in the top of the 6th. No runs for the Whitecaps, no hits either. And they leave 2 runners on at the end of 5.5 innings of play. We're still even at 3. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle. We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth. It'll be Cortez, Rivas, and Luke Miller, an imposing 3, 4, and 5, due up for the Red Sox in this deadlocked game. Tony Losey still on the mound for Brewster. We're tied at 3, bottom of the 6th inning here in Game 1. Cortez, a lefty hitter, digging in. The pitch is an off-speed offering from Losey. Misses away, kind of unusual for him. Usually a guy who likes the first pitch fastball. Did seem to crack a smile on the mound after delivering that one. And now is ready for the 1-0. Here it comes. It misses inside. So the count 2 balls and no strikes. So far for the man from South Carolina, Cortez, he walked his first time up in the first inning, then was doubled off and grounded out on a strange little check swing. Little nubber toward the left side. 2-0 pitch is hit high in the air toward right center field. Moving to his right is the right fielder Taylor. Now gives way to Bishop, the center fielder, who makes the catch for out number 1. That was right out there in straightaway right center. It's a tough day to navigate a baseball out there in the outfield. You got the wind blowing over to left field. You've also got the gray sky where it's tough to pick out the baseball. But so far, Bishop and Taylor out there have done a pretty good job for the Whitecaps. So with the fly out from Cortez, it's now Alfonso Rivas' turn with nobody on and 1 man out. Rivas walked and scored his last time up. The pitch to the lefty is in there for a called strike to the Arizona Wildcat. Makes the count 0-1 on Alfonso Rivas. Losey shakes off one sign from Gasper. Haven't seen a lot of that in this ball game. Here comes the 0-1 offering. It misses outside to make the count 1-1. Sure seems Losey and Gasper have really been on the same page, especially when he's been out of the windup, but even out of the stretch, aside from maybe mixing up his rhythm to kind of fool base runners, he's been working very quickly. 1-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen. A big swing from Rivas, but a big exhale and didn't have anything to show for it. Rivas was the one who hit into that double play in the first inning. Very exciting, unassisted twin killing from Zach Hagen at first. Snagged the line drive and then went to the bag for the second out. That was back in the first. Losey gets the sign he likes from Gasper. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's swung and high in the air, foul ground left side. A lot of room out there for Datris, the third baseman. He runs over and makes the catch for out number 2. Datris read that ball excellently. It was coming down pretty quickly, but there's a ton of foul territory out toward the left side here in Yarmouth, and Datris took full advantage for the second out.
Yeah, here at Red Wilson Field, it is a little bit challenging, though, knowing when you're in fair territory or out of play, because all that really separates it is a spray-painted line down in front of the bleachers here. And there was a play, actually, the last time these two teams faced off here, where the YD third baseman made a play. I believe it was Koss, actually.
Here's Luke Miller, and he fouls the first pitch right back. Looks like got a piece of the umpire behind the plate, but he's all right.
He made a catch right over there. It was basically straddling the line, and the third base umpire said yes, he was in play. Ryan Smythe, the third base coach for the Whitecaps, was arguing, no, there's no way. He was out of play. And then they ended up awarding, it was either Mickey Gasper or Chandler Taylor's second base on the play. It was a very bizarre scenario, very bizarre sequence.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball, and it hit him right on the rump. He turned over like you're supposed to do, turned his back to the pitcher's mound, and got plunked with the breaking ball. That's the second batter that Tony Losey has hit in this game. He hit Nico Horner in the third, and it's a 2-out base runner for YD. I'll tell you what makes it much tougher here in YD. They make sure that there's a lot of lawn chair seating, especially out on the left side, and they make sure they don't sit right on the out-of-play line. A lot of other ballparks, when it's out of play when you're about to, step in a family's potato salad or something. But here, there's that kind of weird buffer zone that makes things difficult. Here's the righty hitting Carter Ferris. The pitch to him is a fastball nicely grooved in there for strike number 1 at the knees. Ferris, his last time up, knocked a 2-run single. Was tagged out at second stretching, but it gave YD a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th. It's now tied at 3 here at Red Wilson Field, bottom of the 6th. Pitch from Losey just misses low, just below the knees. There on that fastball to make the count 1-1. Gasper made his best effort to frame it, but no dice. The runner on first base, Miller, was 7 out of 9 in the regular season stealing bags. 1-1 pitch is hit hard on the ground, foul down the left field line, gets all the way over to the YD bullpen. That was a hot shot off the bat of Carter Ferris, but just couldn't quite keep it in fair territory. Did the UAB Blazer. Ferris originally from Trussville, Alabama, part of that UAB athletic department that's doing football again this fall, starting up that program once more. 1-2 pitches hit hard on the ground, third base. Tricky hop, but Datris fields it. He throws to second for the final out of the 6th inning. Nicely done by Kyle Datris, getting the force play at second base to finish things For YD, no runs, no hits, one left in the 6th inning. We're through 6 innings of play here at Red Wilson Field, and we're even at 3 here in Game 1. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network.
Moving to the top of the 7th inning here at Red Wilson Field. Score knotted at 3 between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox. It'll be the heart of this Brewster order, 2, 3, and 4, due up against Brendan Nail. Aiden Doyle alongside Carter Woodell here on the Whitecaps Radio Network. As the first pitch from Nail to Chandler Taylor, a fastball that misses high for ball 1. Taylor today 1 for 3, struck out his first couple of at-bats before singling in the 5th. Lefty-lefty matchup as Nail comes set. And the 1-0 pitch. Fastball that misses inside, and Taylor's quickly ahead 2-0. Mickey Gasper waiting on deck for the Whitecaps. 2-0 the count. Wind blowing out towards left field here at Red Wilson Field. Nails 2-0 pitch on its way. Fastball that skips home, and Taylor ahead 3 balls, no strikes. Taylor certainly someone who's capable of putting the Whitecaps ahead with just one swing of the bat. Tied for the Cape League lead this year with 9 home runs. Was Brewster's Offensive Player of the Year. As he's taking all the way as Nail pours a fastball in over the inner half of the plate for strike 1. Taylor digging back into the box. 3-1 the count, nobody out. It's Nails ready and the pitch. Fastball that misses downstairs, so a leadoff walk for Chandler Taylor. And Mickey Gasper steps into the box from the right side this time, being flipped around against the left-handed throwing Nail with a runner at first and nobody out.
Just what the doctor ordered for the leadoff walk. I do owe you the line on Quezada, who Nail came in to replace. He threw 5 innings to the Red Sox starter. 4 hits allowed, 3 runs, all earned. Walked 2 and struck out 6.
Gasper, like I mentioned, switch hitter batting right here against Nail, as Taylor with a short lead off of first base. As Nail will now throw over to check on Taylor. Doesn't even have to dive back, just steps right back on the bag. A lot of pickoff attempts in this game, or even if they don't make the throw, just stepping off the mound, really trying to hold the runners in check. As now the first pitch to Gasper, a breaking ball on the inner half of the plate for strike 1. Gasper today 1 for 2. Has hit a couple of balls hard, though. His first inning double to right field was an absolute rocket. Then lined one to first base, and a nice play by Alfonso Rivas over there to taking himself to the bag. 0-1 the count and the pitch. Goes back to the breaking ball. This one misses high above the letters, and the count levels at 1-1. With the count level at 1-1, the score level at 3-3 here in Yarmouth. Whitecaps scoring all 3 of their runs in the top of the 5th inning. Red Sox with 2 in the bottom of the 4th, 1 in the bottom of the 5th as Nail throws over to first base again to check on Taylor. Nail holding the set. And the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball line to the left center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Rounding second is Taylor. This one rolling all the way to the fence. Ryan Smythe is waving Taylor home. Gasper's into second. The throw not in time. That one's cut off by the shortstop. Chandler Taylor scores. And Mickey Gasper, who else but the Mick, comes through with a stand-up double to put the Whitecaps on top 4-3.
Boy, Gasper has had the best day at the plate out of anybody in this ballpark, and that's a terrific piece of hitting there right into the gap. And I tell you what, I know this ballpark has a reputation for being small, but there's plenty of room out there in the gaps at this ballpark, and Marty Costas has made use of it twice now with his 2 doubles, and they are a huge ribby for Brewster.
And now it looks like Scott Pickler will take a slow walk out to the mound and make a call to the bullpen. That's what it looks like. He is making the signal. So it'll be a new arm for the Red Sox. Brendan Nail's day is done, and we'll take a short break as the new arm comes in and takes his warm-up pitches. Keep it right here. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Brewster Whitecaps Radio Network. Back here at Red Wilson Field, and the new arm for the Red Sox is the right-hander Carl Kaufman out of the University of Michigan. One of the Wolverines came into this game, or finished his regular season with 9 appearances, 4 of them starts, 1-1 with a 1.27 ERA and 1 save. Inherits a runner at second. It's Mickey Gasper, 4-3 the score. Whitecaps lead the Red Sox. Marty Costas awaits the first pitch, and that one in for a strike from Kaufman. Costas today 0 for 1, grounded out to the pitcher in his first at-bat, then walked in the 4th and put the Whitecaps at the time on top 3-2 with a sacrifice fly in the 5th inning. Righty-righty matchup as Kaufman comes set, and the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. This one blocked by Trainer. Taking off for third is Mickey Gasper, and he's there. Mickey Gasper slides into third. And now another run just 90 feet away for the Whitecaps.
Well, that takes some guts from Gasper because that one stayed in front of Darren Trainer, but he got a terrific jump and didn't even draw a throw. Gasper knows how important that is to move up 90 feet because now if Costas can just put the ball in the air, something he's very good at, Brewster can double their lead.
Yeah, he already has 1 sacrifice fly today, like I mentioned. as the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball lifted in the air out towards center field. Moving in is Kyle Isbell, charging, dropping fast. He dives, and he's unable to make the catch. It's in and out of his glove. Scoring is Mickey Gasper as Marty Costas reaches. I'd bet you $100 that one scored a hit, and so it looks like it's going to be an RBI single that Marty Costas puts the Whitecaps up 5-3.
Well, it looked like another sac fly. Brewster had more sac flies than any other team on the Cape this past season, but Marty Costas delivering again another clutch base hit for Costas, if that is how it scored, which it is. It just came through for the Whitecaps. Big for him.
So 5-3 the score as Michael Curry digs in from the right side. Marty Costas leading off of first base. Carl Kaufman comes set. And the first pitch to Curry squares around the bunt, although it's a pitch out for the Red Sox. So Curry takes it back, and the count moves to 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't check on Costas before the throw, and then, of course, it was a pitch out.
Costas with an average lead off of first base. Kaufman comes set. Runner goes, and the pitch. This one misses down and away. The throw down to second is not in time. Marty Costas swipes second, and the Whitecaps have a runner in scoring position. Marty had 7 stolen bases in the regular season, and now he can add 1 to his playoff total.
Yeah, it sure seems like the Whitecaps are kind of beating Scott Pickler at his own game right now. They're doing an excellent job these past couple of innings of moving base runners up. I know we saw the stolen base from Gasper back in the 5th inning, a nice play that set things up for the Whitecaps.
Curry squares around the bunt, drops this down the third base line. It's a good one, fielded by Cost. Throw on to first in time to retire Curry, but Marty Costas able to move to third base on the 5-4 sacrifice bunt.
Center fielder from Arizona State, number 24.
Now Hunter Bishop digging in from the left side. Marty Costas just 90 feet away. Whitecaps on top 5-3 here in the top of the 7th inning. They've scored 2 runs in the frame, one on a Mickey Gasper double, the other on a Marty Costas single. Bishop today 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Did walk in his last plate appearance, that against Brendan Nail. And the first pitch to Bishop misses down and away. The infield's in for the Red Sox as the catcher trainer thought about a snap throw down to third base, but thought otherwise. 1 ball, no strikes on Bishop. 1 out. Kaufman looking into trainer, now comes set. And the pitch. Caught on and missed. Bishop just waved at that one in the dirt, and the count evens at 1-1. Kaufman looking into trainer. Ready, and the 1-1 pitch. Off-speed pitch. This one finds the zone, and Bishop falls behind 1-2. New arm warming up in the pen for the Red Sox. Looks like it's Carl Blum, right-hander out of Rutgers. The arm still on the mound is Carl Kaufman. He's heading the count 1-2, and the pitch. Breaking ball in there, strike 3. Bishop down looking for out number 2.
Really important strikeout there for Carl Kaufman.
Third baseman from North Carolina, number 3, Kyle.
Now it's 2 outs, runner at third base. And so now a fly ball doesn't do the job, as it would just likely end the inning. Kyle Datcher is digging in from the right side. It's 1 for 3 on the day, singled in the 5th inning. And one sandwiched in between a fly out to right and a ground out to shortstop. First pitch to Datcher's fouled right off of his shin. That one caroming into the field of play as it was actually fielded by the third baseman Koss, but ball is foul, says home plate umpire Joe Caraco.
Yeah, it looked like it got his shin guard there, but just because you got a shin guard on doesn't mean that doesn't sting. They don't say it's the least protected bone in the body for nothing.
Datcher, the third baseman out of UNC Chapel Hill, originally from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, home of the Little League World Series. As the 0-1 pitch, this one fouled off again by Datcher as he winces with pain, tries to shake that one off. That one didn't look like it got a piece of him, but I think he's still probably shaking off the first one that went right off of the inside of his left foot. Walking around the home plate circle here at Red Wilson Field.
And a nice job by Joe Caraco, the home plate ump, giving him some time, giving home plate an extra brush, not forcing him to come back in an important spot in the playoff game. You give guys the benefit of the doubt in situations like this.
0-2 the count, 2 outs. Kaufman just 1 strike away from potentially getting out of this. And the pitch. Fastball misses high and outside. Count moves to 1-2. Whitecaps already with 2 runs in the inning. They lead this one 5-3. Top of the 7th inning of Game 1 of the Eastern Division semifinals. And the 1-2 pitch on its way to Datras. Fastball up in the zone. That one caught the upper part of the zone. Datras down looking. So back-to-back backwards Ks for Carl Kaufman to end the top of the 7th inning. But the Whitecaps retake the lead. They get 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 1 on. After 6.5 here at Red Wilson Field, it's Whitecaps 5, Red Sox 3. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Tony Losey back out on the mound for his 7th inning of work here at Red Wilson Field. Aidan Doyle alongside Carter Woodeel on the Whitecaps Radio Network. It's Brewster 5, Yarmouth Dennis 3. As the first pitch to from Tony Losey to Connor Kaiser, a fastball in the inner half of the plate for strike 1. Losey working quickly through the windup, and the 0-1 fastball misses inside. Count evens at 1-1. Kaiser today 0 for 2 with a couple of fly balls of pop-ups. Flew out to right field in the 2nd before popping up to Gahagan in the 5th. As Losey again misses inside with a fastball. Now 2-1 on Kaiser. Kaiser, the shortstop out of Vanderbilt University. As Losey's through the windup and the 2-1 pitch. Fastball again on the inner half of the plate. Count evens at 2-2. It's been 4 pitches from Losey this at bat and 4 fastballs. 2 of them strikes, 2 of them balls. Losey ready and the 2-2 pitch. Fastball line towards third, snagged by Kyle Datras. It was right at him, but it got on him on a hurry, and he's able to make the play for out number 1.
Yeah, well, it takes some reaction time to make a play like that. Had to reach up to grab it as well. They don't call it the hot corner for nothing, but a terrific play from Datras.
Took the words out of my mouth as I was saying, that's why they call it the hot corner. Kyle Datras, that one got all over him. And it looks like there will be a pinch hitter here for the Red Sox. Drew Mendoza out of Florida State stepping in. Left-handed hitter taking over for the right-handed hitting Koss. Mendoza this season batted just 171 in 28 games. Did have a home run and 8 RBI. 4 runs scored, a double, and did not steal a base. Just a .218 on base percentage. Losey looking into Gasper. And the first pitch to Mendoza. Squares around to bunt, but takes it back as Losey misses high and outside with a fastball. Whitecaps putting on a bit of a shift here. against Mendoza. Kyle Datris is playing about where the shortstop third base hole is. Graffinito's just to the left of second base as the 1-0 pitch fouled off towards the Whitecaps dugout. Count evens at 1-1. Gehagen really hugging the first base line, and Dunn's about normal depth, right where he should be, or where he's been the entire game. 1-1 pitch to Mendoza, and the fastball misses down and away for ball 2. We've seen the Whitecaps feature a lot of spray charts in the inside of their dugout as far as where hitters hit the ball. You gotta wonder if this is part of that strategy, noticing that Mendoza typically pulls the ball a lot. As the 2-1 fastball from Losi catches the lower part of the zone, and the count evens at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-3 the score. Whitecaps lead the Red Sox. And the 2-2 pitch from Losi. This one hit on the ground towards second. Fielded on a hop by Nick Dunn. Throw on to first in time, so the shift does its job. Although Dunn was about right where he normally is, so doesn't really matter. But 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, still a great play from Nick Dunn, and shows that the shift was working, but they knew that he could have hit it over there. Mendoza is a pull hitter. So a bit of a strategy here. Again, something you see in the playoffs that you don't see everywhere, and we're going to see another pinch hitter here.
And another pinch hitter indeed. It's Nick Quintana out of the University of Arizona taking over for Darren Trainer.
And so we're going to see some trademark Scott Pickler 7th inning defensive changes here, because now he's pulled his catcher and his versatile third baseman.
As now Austin Straub will walk out to the mound, have a chat with Tony Losi.
And for Tony Losi right now, he has done such a terrific job all season long for the Brewster Whitecaps battling on the mound. We'll see if there's any reinforcements or anything going on in the bullpen for the Whitecaps, but the key for Losi here is he's just got to kind of stay within himself and try and get this out here in the 7th. He's been so good at battling. I mean, when he's doing well and when he's not. I mean, we saw him refuse to be taken out in that 8-inning shutout performance, and we've seen him refuse to be taken out when he struggled in Harwich and gave up 4 runs in the first 2 innings. It's been that kind of season for Tony Losi. Been such a grinder for this team, and in the playoffs, you need guys to go out and grind just like he is right now.
And there is some action in the Whitecaps bullpen. Our very own Koki Riley tells us it's Sam Bordner. The reason I know that is he didn't really say Sam Bordner's name. He just gave me the hair, gonna shoot it, or gestured with his hands saying hair. I'm like, okay, it's Sam Bordner. As the first pitch now to Nick Quintana, swung on and missed right off the mask of Mickey Gasper. Didn't look like Quintana got a piece of it. It almost just hit Mickey in the front of the mask as he takes the mask off. Walks around for a second, and home plate umpire Joe Caraco goes and delivers a new ball to Tony Losi. So again, Carter taking his time. Quintana, the pinch hitter for Trainer, and had 200 in the regular season in 34 games. Hit 6 home runs, which was tied for the team lead, and had 14 RBIs. So certainly a power bat. As the 0-1 pitch, this one hit on the ground towards second. Fielded on a hop by Dunn. Gathers and throws to first for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Tony Losi. Exactly what he was going for. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We're through 7 here at Red Wilson Field. It's Whitecaps 5, Red Sox 3 on the Whitecaps Radio Network.
Once announced, you have 15.
Top of the 8th inning at Red Wilson Field. It'll be 8-9-1 in the Whitecaps order, 2 up against Karl Kauffmann. A couple of defensive changes to get you squared on. Drew Mendoza takes over at third base for Christian Koss, whom he pinch hit for in the bottom of the 7th. And then Nick Quintana, who pinch hit for Darren Trainer, does not take over at catcher. He's replaced by Mike Casala. As the first pitch to A.J. Graffinino fouled off over the third base dugout and out of play. 5-3 the score. Whitecaps lead the Red Sox. As Karl Kauffmann threw the windup and the 0-1 pitch. This one lifted in the air into shallow left field. Moving in is Carlos Cortez. And he puts it away for out number 1.
The first baseman from North Carolina.
I know you mentioned earlier, Carter, that the sun was starting to peek out a little bit. Well, Mother Nature didn't like what you were saying and
Did its best.
they changed everything. So it's back to being a gloomy day here in Yarmouth. Zach Hagen now digging in from the right side. Number 9 hitter in this Brewster order. And the first pitch from Karl Kauffmann. This one hit on the ground towards second. Moving to his left is Nico Horner. Fields and throws on to first in time for out number 2.
This ballgame's starting to get some of its rhythm back. I know we saw a lot of kind of starts and stops with the base runners that we saw. Both managers have been playing it safe in terms of preventing the running game from getting going. But here it looks like Karl Kauffmann has gotten into a groove on the mound for YD.
Now it's back to the top of this Brewster order and Nick Dunn as right-hander Kauffmann threw the windup. First pitch swinging is Dunn as he fouls this one off over the third base bleachers and out of play. Dunn today, 1 for 4. Had an RBI single back in the 5th inning to put the Whitecaps on the board as he fouls off another one over the third base dugout. 0-2 now the count. 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning, 5-3. Again, the score. Whitecaps lead this one by 2 runs. As an 0-2 fastball from Kauffmann. Dunn stays alive as he fouls this one off right back in the same place. He's seen 3 pitches and fouled them off over the third base dugout, all 3 of them. Kauffmann threw the windup and the 0-2 pitch. This one misses off the plate, and the count moves to 1-2. Kauffmann ready, threw the windup and the 1-2 pitch. This one hit on the ground down the first base line, just foul, says Mark Ottavianelli. And Dunn continues to battle here against Kauffmann, stays alive, and the count remains 1-2.
Terrific at bat here from Nick Dunn. This is what he's done the whole second half of the season. Just stay alive, get on base. Been a leadoff hitter in every sense for Brewster.
1-2 the count. Kauffmann threw the windup and the pitch. Another one that misses high and outside, and the count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dunn, left-handed hitting second baseman out of the University of Maryland. Waits the 2-2, loops this one into left field. Moving back is Carlos Cortez, and he makes the play for out number 3. So the Whitecaps go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 7.5 at Red Wilson Field. It's Whitecaps 5, Red Sox 3 in Game 1 here of the Eastern Division semifinals. You're listening to Playoff Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network.
Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps baseball. Here are Carter Wedeel and Aiden Doyle.
Well, a bit of a haze is moving in here at Red Wilson Field. The sun is not anywhere to be found. It's overcast, it's muggy, and there's a new pitcher on the mound, and the Whitecaps lead this one 5-3. Sam Bordner takes over for Tony Losey here in the bottom of the 8th inning, as the Whitecaps try to protect a two-run lead. Final line on Tony: 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. Walked 3, just struck out 2, which is a little bit atypical from what we typically see from Tony. As the first pitch from Sam Bordner, fastball that misses down and in for ball 1 to Nico Horner. Bordner, right-handed reliever out of Louisville. This one fouled off down the right side, and this one will drop out of play, so the count evens at 1-1. Bordner was just fantastic for the Whitecaps in the regular season. 1.35 ERA in 8 appearances, 13 1/3 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts. As he takes a little off this one and misses high and inside. 2-1 now the count on Horner. Nico today 1 for 2. Hit a couple of balls hard, flew out to center in his first at-bat, then had an RBI double in the 5th. As he lifts this one foul back over our heads and out of play, so the count evens at 2-2. There's another arm warming up in the Red Sox pen, potentially coming in for the the top of the 9th inning. That's a fastball from Bordner, misses high and outside, and the count runs full. Looks like it's Riley McCauley, who just before today's game received the Relief Pitcher of the Year award for the entire Cape Cod League. Full count and the payoff pitch. This one hit on the ground, foul by Horner, and the count stays full. Good job by Horner staying alive.
And this is important, even if Brewster is unable to hang on to this 5-3 advantage, Riley McCauley, as you mentioned, is one of the best arms you're going to find on the Cape. If they can make
As the payoff pitch lifted into center field, moving in now is Hunter Bishop. Looks like he's got a beat on it and puts it away for out number 1.
If they can make Scott Pickler use McCauley in this ball game to finish my thought, that's a small victory in and of itself, considering they probably wouldn't be able to use him in Game 2 tomorrow at Stony Brook Field.
As Kyle Isbell steps in now for the Red Sox from the left side, center fielder out of UNLV. Isbell 1 for 2 on the day, walked his first plate appearance, then singled in the 4th, and would come around a score before grounding out to Gehagen at first. Looks at a first pitch fastball from Bordner that misses downstairs for ball 1. Bordner working quickly. This one hit on a short hop to Dunn. He looks like he did catch it in the air, says first base umpire Mark Ottavianelli. It was caught almost in between a short hop and trying to catch it on the air. Dunn, I think himself, wasn't exactly sure how to play that one, but was able to catch it before it hit the ground, and there's 2 away here in the top of the 8th, or bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, did a nice job. Just put the webbing of the glove right on the dirt, and the baseball landed right there. Nice fielding from Nick Dunn.
Now the number 3 hitter Carlos Cortez digs in from the left side. First pitch from Bordner, a fastball that misses down and away for ball 1.
Hi, Sam.
Bordner working quickly in the 1-0 pitch. Another fastball that misses downstairs. 2-0 to Cortez. Carlos today 0 for 2, walked his first plate appearance, then grounded out to third and flew out to center in the 6th. 2-0 count, 2 outs. As Bordner takes a little off that one, but misses off the plate. 3-0 now the count to Cortez.
On Sam.
Bordner's got great stuff, not overpowering stuff. Sits mainly in the low 90s, can get it up to 93, 94. As he finds his own here with a fastball. 3-1 now the count on the YD left fielder. But has a very deceptive delivery, has good off-speed stuff, and fools a lot of hitters. 3-1 count. This one hit in the air out towards center field. Charging now is Hunter Bishop, and that one will drop in for a base hit. Cortez didn't hit it a ton, but hit it right in the right spot as Bishop was playing him pretty deep.
But he sure hit it high in the air. That baseball hung up there for a while, considering where it ended up. But Carlos Cortez is a guy good at getting on base no matter how.
Now is Alfonso Rivas digging in from the left side. He represents the tying run in this ball game as the Whitecaps lead 5-3. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Carlos Cortez leading off first base, and the first pitch from Sam Bordner, a fastball in at the knees for strike 1. Bordner looking into Mickey Gasper. Now checks the runner at first base. And the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses high and outside. Count levels at 1-1. One count, 2 outs. Wind has shifted a bit, blowing out more towards left center now than just towards the left field foul pole. 1-1 pitch from Bordner. Another fastball that misses off the plate, and the count moves to 2-1. Bordner, like I mentioned, with great stuff, but can't always command it. He's got better command than most, but if there is a flaw in his repertoire, it's the location. Did walk 6 batters this season as he throws over to first, but Cortez back safely. Bordner behind in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike here to Rivas. Cortez leading off first base, and now Bordner will throw over again as Cortez dives back in time. Bordner comes set. And the 2-1 pitch. Fastball fouled straight back to the backstop as Mickey Gasper points his glove out to his 6'6" right-hander, affirmatively saying, give me more of that. Right in the right spot. And the count moves to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-run lead for the Whitecaps. Tying run at the plate and Alfonso Rivas. Bordner ready, and the 2-2 pitch. Another one fouled back behind home plate over the press box, and Rivas stays alive.
Sure looked like he was thinking 5-5 with that swing, didn't he, Aiden?
That is for sure. We talk so much about him being the Whitecaps' kryptonite this season. Just seems to always come through in situations against Brewster. As Bordner's ready, and the 2-2 pitch. Fastball hit on the ground, past the diving Gahagan and into right field. Rounding second base is Carlos Cortez. He'll get to third base standing up. Holding at first is Alfonso Rivas, and the Red Sox have runners at the corners for Luke Miller.
Great piece of hitting there from Alfonso Rivas. Tough for Zach Gahagan. It was just out of his reach, but hit just so hard down the right field line.
Now Luke Miller digging in from the right side. He's 0 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. Right-handed batter out of Indiana University. Coach Shevchik has said he likes to use Sam Bordner in high-leverage situations. Well, it wasn't quite as high leverage when he came in. It was still a 2-run lead for the Whitecaps, but it's about as high leverage as it gets right now. Runners at the corners, 2 outs, 2-run lead for the Whitecaps. And the first pitch to Miller, cut on and miss for strike 1. Looked like Miller was out in front of that off-speed pitch from Bordner. Almost looked like a changeup, not a whole lot of drop to it, but certainly had Miller fooled. Miller gets what he wants from Gasper, checks the runner at first, and the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses down and away, count evens at 1-1. McCauley continues to warm in the Red Sox pen as the Whitecaps lead this one 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. 1-1 pitch from Bordner. Breaking ball, cut on and miss. Miller was way out in front of that one. And the count now 1-2, so Bordner 1 strike away from getting out of this 8th inning unscathed.
You got this, Sam. Let's go.
Cortez leading off third, Rivas off of first. Bordner heading the count 1-2 to Luke Miller. And the pitch. Breaking ball hit in the air out towards center field. Charging is Hunter Bishop, and he puts it away for out number 3. Nice job by Hunter Bishop getting a beat on that one. And so the Red Sox get runners to the corners, but don't score. They get no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. We move to the top of the 8th inning here at top of the ninth inning here at Red Wilson Field. It's 5-3, Whitecaps over the Red Sox. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network.
Come on, Chandler.
Top of the ninth inning here at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth. It's Whitecaps 5, Red Sox 3 in Game 1 of the Eastern Division semifinals. Chandler Taylor digging in from the left side for Brewster. And the first pitch from Carl Kaufman, a fastball on the outside corner for strike one. Aiden Doyle alongside Carter Woodeel here on the Whitecaps Radio Network. And the 0-1 pitch. Fastball that misses down and away, evens count at 1-1. One and one the count to Taylor. He's 1 for 3 today. Does have a run scored. He walked to lead things off in the 7th inning. And he lays off the breaking ball here, down and in. 2-1 now the count. As Mickey Gasper waits on deck. Well, whatever sun was shining earlier in the game has completely vanished. It is quite overcast, quite muggy, and quite foggy here in Yarmouth as Taylor just gets a piece of an off-speed pitch from Kaufman, and the count moves to 2-2. Taylor, the right fielder out of the University of Alabama. As Kaufman threw the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball in at the knees, strike 3, says home plate umpire Joe Caraco. Chandler Taylor doesn't like that one, and he's giving Joe Caraco a piece of his mind, but walks now back towards the Whitecaps dugout. Either way, one down here in the top of the 9th inning for Mickey Gasper.
All right, Mickey.
Mickey, who has been the MVP of the Whitecaps this season and the MVP of the Whitecaps this game. 2 for 3, 2 doubles, 2 RBI, a walk, and a stolen base. As now the first pitch from Kaufman, a fastball that misses down and away for ball 1. Gasper, switch hitter, batting left against the right-handed throwing Kaufman. Awaits the 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. Breaking ball hit on the ground towards short, fielded by Kaiser on a hop, throw on to first in time for out number 2.
Nice job by Kaiser there. That was kind of a tricky hop. It looked like got a piece of the pitcher's mound. Here at Red Wilson Field, there's maybe a bit more lift to the ground around the pitcher's mound than there might be at some other ballparks. Maybe not perhaps totally flat, the terrain out there. In any case, a nice play by Kaiser.
And now Marty Costas, another man who has a pair of RBI today, digs in from the right side. 1 for 2. An RBI single his last at-bat, another one with a stolen base, as he looks at a first pitch fastball from Kaufman on the inside corner for strike 1. Costas, the left fielder out of the University of Maryland, one of the Terrapins, awaits the 0-1 pitch from Kaufman. He goes back to the fastball and misses inside. Count evens at 1-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Whitecaps lead this one by 2. It's 5-3, Brewster on top of YD. Costas way out in front of that breaking ball from Kaufman, and the count moves to 1-2 now. Costas, who finished the season on a tear and has translated it here into game one of these playoffs, chops this one weakly towards the first baseman. Rivas fields it on a hop and takes it himself to the bag for the third out. 1-2-3 go the Whitecaps in the top of the ninth inning, but they just need 3 more outs in the bottom of the ninth to take a 1-0 lead in this Eastern Division semifinals. They lead this one 5-3. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network.
Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle.
Sam Bordner back out on the mound for the bottom of the ninth inning. It's Whitecaps 5, Red Sox 3 in game one of this Eastern Division semifinals. It's a best-of-3 series, so a win here, and you're one win away from moving on to the next round, but you still need 3 more outs, and that's Sam Bordner's job. He faces 6, 7, 8 in this Red Sox order, and his first pitch to Carter Ferris, a fastball in for strike one. Aiden Doyle alongside Carter Waddell here on the Whitecaps Radio Network as the 0-1 pitch to Ferris, a breaking ball that misses downstairs. Count evens at 1-1. Bordner working through the windup and the 1-1 pitch. Goes back to the breaking ball and just misses off the plate. Some words from the Whitecaps dugout to home plate umpire Joe Caraco. Thought that was in for a strike. Count now 2-1. The fastball lined at the right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Carter Ferris with a leadoff single in the bottom of the ninth inning. And now Connor Kaiser steps in representing the tying run.
Well, when your back is against the wall, you need to get the leadoff guy on. That time, a terrific job by Ferris hitting the ball hard to bring the tying run to the plate. Now every batter is important for Sam Bordner.
Kaiser, the shortstop out of Vanderbilt University. As Ferris leads off of first base. Bordner, a strikeout pitcher, but would love a ground ball here. Righty-righty matchup as Bordner's first pitch. Fastball that misses downstairs for ball one. Kaiser this year did have 2 home runs in 37 games. So capable of going deep, especially at a small ballpark here in Yarmouth. It's the 1-0 pitch, fastball that misses high and inside, and the count now 2-0. There is some action in the Whitecaps pen. It's Joe Demers warming up for Brewster, the right-hander out of the University of Washington. I'm sure Coach Shevchik would love, though, if Bordner is able to get all 3 outs here in the ninth. As the 2-0 pitch on its way, this one lifted in the air towards the Whitecaps dugout, and it will drop foul and out of play as about 7 kids scrounge for it. 2-1 now the count on Connor Kaiser. I tell you, it can really become a fight to the death when people are going over those foul balls here. 2-1 count. Nobody out. Carter Ferris leads off of first base, and the pitch to Connor Kaiser. This one check swing and fouled off down the first base side, so the count now 2-2. As far as some scores from around the league, Bourne and Cotuit are tied at 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Wareham and Falmouth. Wareham's up 2-0 in the top of the 2nd, and Chatham and Orleans yet to get underway. That game starting at 7 o'clock at Eldridge Park in Orleans. Two and two the count. Connor Kaiser digging in from the right side. Bordner ready, and the pitch. Fastball cut on and miss. He struck him out swinging for out number 1.
Great job to respond there by Bordner after giving up the hard contact, not losing face in that fastball, able to just drive it in, get the swinging strikeout.
And now Mendoza steps in from the left side. Whitecaps go back to their shift as Kyle Datras moves over to where A.J. Graffinino typically plays. Graffinino basically just to the left of second base and playing on the edge of the outfield grass. Now Datras moving back towards where he typically plays, but still shaded a bit towards second base, playing in a bit. A ground ball potentially gets the Whitecaps out of this inning, and ends the game. As the first pitch from Bordner, fastball that misses off the plate for ball 1. Mendoza did ground out in his only at-bat today. That one to second base. 1-0 the count, 1 out, and the pitch from Bordner. Fastball tipped and into the mitt of Mickey Gasper, and the count evens at 1-1. Mendoza, third baseman, out of Florida State, one of the Seminoles. Awaits the 1-1 pitch from Sam Bordner. Here it comes. Fastball hit on the ground, past the diving Gahagan and into right field. Rounding second base is Carter Ferris. He's digging for third, and he'll get there. The throw comes into second base, and now the Red Sox have runners at the corners. The tying run is on base for Mike Casala. And it looks like Scott Pickler will have another pinch hitter, as it's a pinch hitter, Jake Slaughter, right-handed hitter out of LSU.
Really like this move here from Scott Pickler. I know he's a righty hitter, but this is one of the better guys that he had on the bench.
Slaughter was talking with Whitecap starter Tony Losey before the game, saying, yeah, I've been typically used this season against left-handed pitchers. If we're facing a lefty, I'm almost always in there. He said today against Tony, so yeah, I'll probably sit, but being used here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mendoza at first is the tying run. And the first pitch to Slaughter. This one lifted in the air in foul territory. Giving chase is Zach Hagan, but it'll drop out of play, as it's in and out of the glove of a fan down the first base side. 0-1 the count now on Slaughter. Righty-righty matchup. 0-1 the count, 1 out. Runners at the corners for the Red Sox. It's Ferris leading off third, Mendoza off of first. And the pitch from Bordner. Fastball hit on the ground towards third, and it's under the glove of Datras and into left field. Scoring is Carter Ferris. Moving to second is Mendoza. And there's 2 runners on for the Red Sox, and this is now just a 1-run ball game.
I'll tell you what, Aiden, it had been such a great day for the Whitecaps defense there. I think Kyle Datras was thinking about ending the game. It was a chance for him to turn a double play. Jake Slaughter, not the easiest guy in the world to double off, but not the fastest guy on this Whitey team, is full of fast players, and it looked like he just brought the glove up a little bit too soon, thinking about throwing to turn 2 before fielding the baseball. And now for Sam Bordner, Mickey Gasper went out to talk to him. He's got to reset here and just try and see if he can get another ball on the ground, just get these last 2 outs.
And it looks like there will be a pinch runner for Mendoza. It's Cody Martin out of Cal Poly Pomona. So the tying run is in scoring position for the Red Sox. There's just 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the leadoff man, Nico Horner, digging in from the right side for the Red Sox. This is about the last guy in this Whitey order who the Whitecaps want to face in a situation like this. Whitecaps at double play depth Ground ball still potentially ends the game as a ground ball. Diving stab by Datris. He steps on third. The throw to first is knocked down by Gahagan, but they get the lead runner on nice play. I think nice is an understatement by Kyle Datris as he stabbed it diving to his right, stepped on third base, and got the lead runner Martin. And now the Whitecaps are just 1 out away.
What a great game baseball is. I mean, you can make a play that has you kicking yourself like never before at third base, and then the very next batter make a spectacular grab and come reasonably close to turning two going over to first base. What a play to redeem himself there by Datris at third. Now it's all up to Isbell.
Now it's the left-handed hitting Isbell, like you mentioned, Carter. Center fielder for the Red Sox, and the first pitch from Bordner, a fastball that misses high for ball one. Datris obviously having the presence of mind to step on third base there. Got the lead runner. Still 2 runners on for the Red Sox. Tying run still in scoring position. 1-0 the count to Isbell. And the pitch from Bordner. This one fouled back into the backstop, and the count evens at 1-1. Isbell today 1 for 3, singled in the 4th inning, and has been retired his last 2 at-bats. Did walk in the first. One and 1 the count, 2 outs. Bordner comes set, and the pitch. Fastball misses high. Isbell able to check his swing as Mickey Gasper grabs it, puts both hands down, said, "Hank, bring that down a bit." And the count moves to 2-1. McCauley continuing to warm for the Red Sox as Scott Pickler prepares for extra innings. 2-1 pitch. Fastball on the inside corner. The Whitecaps are 1 strike away from taking game 1. Great spot there from Sam Bordner. And the count's even at 2. 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1-run game, 2 runners on for the Red Sox. It's Slaughter on second, Horner on first, and the pitch from Bordner. Breaking ball hit on the ground, foul down the right field line, says Mark Ottavianelli. That one just foul, as Isbell was just a tad bit out in front of it. If that one's fair, we have a tie game here, maybe a Red Sox win.
Boy, this is playoff baseball here, Aiden. I know it's the Summer League, I know it's the Cape where things are laid back, but this is as tense as I can remember seeing a ball game in a long time.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 2 at the plate. As Bordner comes set. And the pitch. This one hit on the ground and into right field, pass done. Fielding it is Taylor. They're waving home the run. There will be no throw home, and this game is tied. Kyle Isbell with an RBI single to right field, scoring Jake Slaughter, and it's tied at 5 here at Red Wilson Field.
What a clutch hit from Kyle Isbell. I mean, the top of each team's lineup has been living up to the billing today. I mean, we've seen such a great day from Horner at the plate, from Taylor and Gasper for Brewster, and here from Isbell getting the biggest hit of this ball game. What a great back-and-forth game this has been. And for Brewster now, you have to reset and realize that there is still baseball to be played. The Whitecaps can still get this if they can slam the door in the 9th inning, but Carlos Cortez is a very tough out.
That he is, digging in from the left side for the Red Sox. Runner at second and first for the Red Sox. First pitch swinging is Cortez. He fouls the first pitch back out of play over the press box. 0-1 now the count on the YD left fielder. That one bouncing off of a car here in the parking lot of Red Wilson Field. A Let's Go Red Sox crowd or chant breaking out here at Red Wilson Field. And the 0-1 pitch from Bordner. This one drilled out to center field. Going back is Hunter Bishop. He's at the track. He's at the wall. And that ball is gone. It's a walk-off 3-run home run for Carlos Cortez. And the hearts of the Brewster Whitecaps were just ripped out by the YD left fielder. YD takes game 1, 8-5. A celebration at the plate for Carlos Cortez. He's dumped with Gatorade here as YD takes game 1 on a walk-off 3-run home run.
That is the 5th home run of the season and first of the playoffs for number 14.
And just like that, they were one strike away. And the Whitecaps dropped this game one in the most heartbreaking of fashions.
What a ball game. What an incredible ball game. You have to feel for Brewster. This is a tough way to lose. But I tell you what, a lot of folks around the Cape will ask the question, well, it's a summer league. The teams change every year. Why does YD always win when playoff time comes around? And I think we saw the answer here tonight. YD got the hits in this ninth inning. A terrific performance for them. Scott Pickler made the moves when he needed to, bringing Jake Slaughter to come into the ball game and hit a hard ground ball that Datris wound up misplaying. And then Carlos Cortez with the exclamation point at the end of the game. I mean, that is a terrific performance for YD. And for Brewster, I'm sure Jamie Shepard is starting to talk to his team right now, but this is going to be a situation where they have to make sure that they put this ball game out of their mind, because now it's a must-win game at home tomorrow.
And I'm sure that's going to be easier said than done. They had this one, gave up 5 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning as the Red Sox win Game 1 8-5. Game 2 tomorrow. But there is more to come from the Whitecaps post-game show. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have our very own Maura Sheridan talking to a player of the game and Coach Jamie Shepard. Keep it right here. You're listening to the Whitecaps Radio Network.
Don't go anywhere. The Whitecaps post-game show is coming up right after this.
That was huge for us. It's huge for the momentum going into tomorrow.
Only on the Brewster Whitecaps Radio Network.
Back here at Red Wilson Field, where the Red Sox win 8-5 on a walk-off 3-run home run. One of the stars of the game for the Whitecaps, though, was catcher Mickey Gasper, and he's with our very own Maura Sheridan.
Thanks, guys. 2 doubles, 2 RBIs today for you individually. What was working for you out there?
I was just getting some good pitches to hit. I had a pretty good idea of how they were attacking us as hitters, so I was just trying to stay locked in and get good pitches to hit.
You're a leader on this team. This was a heartbreaking loss. What is your message going into tomorrow's game?
I mean, we played our ball. We played a really good game, and it sucks the way the outcome came, but we're gonna stick with it and try to get it tomorrow. And if they let us stick around, I got a lot of faith in us. They got to put us away tomorrow. We're gonna come back and we're gonna take Game 3. So tomorrow's a big day for us.
You just had to watch them celebrate right in front of you. That's a tough way to lose. Is there any sort of revenge factor going into tomorrow?
I mean, it's just a do-or-die game. We know. I mean, yeah, there's a revenge. We want to win. But, I mean, that's a great team. They put together really good at-bats towards the end. So we're just gonna come out and try to do our best in a do-or-die situation.
All right, thanks so much, Mickey. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Maura. That was Mickey Gasper, the Brewster catcher out of Bryant, who certainly did his part at the plate, 2 for 4 with a pair of doubles, 2 RBI, a run scored, a walk, a stolen base. But in the end, not enough as the Red Sox take Game 1, 8-5 on a walk-off 3-run home run off the bat of Carlos Cortez. Carter, you got to like what he's saying, though, the confidence. He's going to bounce. They're going to bounce back. He's got a good feeling about tomorrow at Stony Brook Field. And even then, going as far as saying, we'll win tomorrow, and then we're taking Game 3 here at Red Wilson Field.
Yeah, very well said from Mickey Gasper. I like the way that he summed up the last inning, too. They got good hitters. They put together good at-bats, because that's what was happening. I mean, they just were able to stay in the ball game and get the hits that they needed.
And now Maura Sheridan is standing by with Whitecaps coach Jamie Shepard.
Coach, obviously not the outcome that you wanted today, but Tony Losey and Sam Border, they were the only guys that pitched today. So what does that mean for the future and the outlook of this team?
We've still got a lot of guys that can pitch. I mean, Tribuker go tomorrow, and I know it's a game that we should have won, and it sucks the way we lost it, but One game doesn't decide the series. That's why it's best out of 3. So, we'll get all mopey tomorrow if we get beat, but we plan on coming back here in another day or so.
This is a really heartbreaking loss. What's the message to the team today after this one?
It's a best of 3 series, so one game doesn't decide the outcome of the series. So we still got to play tomorrow, and don't quit tomorrow, and play hard tomorrow. And if they're going to beat us, let's make them decide it right here on their home field the next day after that.
It is a do or die situation. What's the game plan looking like for tomorrow?
We're not going to change anything. I mean, we played the right game today. We made a mistake here and there, but we played the right game, and the last inning beat us. So when you play 8 good innings and you get beat in the 9th. That's baseball. So we're going to play tomorrow just like it was today.
All right. Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
That's baseball. That's the quote there from Jamie Shevchik. He played 8 good innings, and that they certainly did. They were winning 5-3 going into the bottom of the 9th inning, Carter, but couldn't quite hold on as Whitey takes this one 8-5. But again, the same message sounded. It was almost as if it's the same exact phrases from Jamie Shevchik and Mickey Gasper. We're going to take tomorrow at home. We're going to make them beat us at this place again. And they played a pretty good game for 8 innings. It's just that 9th inning came back to get them.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say? I mean, Jamie Shevchik, very honest with us as always. We really appreciate the honesty that he has with us when he's talking to us after the ball games. You just suffered a heartbreaking loss, and he's going up and saying, listen, we're not going to change anything tomorrow. And I think that's a perfectly appropriate thing to say after this ball game. Baseball, sometimes it's a sport that can lift you up, and it's a sport that can rip your heart out. And this was a heartbreaker for Brewster. But I think the Whitecaps have to realize that when this team suits up, same time tomorrow, they'll be at home, and they can do the same thing to YD. I mean, Brewster will be the home team tomorrow. We've seen Brewster walk off in the past this season. They can do the same thing and then get the momentum going into game number 3. So, like Jamie Shevchik said, there's a reason why they're playing a 3-game series. There's a reason why it's not just a 1-game playoff, and that's what the Whitecaps have to keep in mind.
Yeah, this is a tough game to lose, that is for sure. 8-5 again to the YD Red Sox. But tomorrow, like Coach Shevchik said, there's a reason it's a best of 3 and not just 1 game. They got to bounce back against these YD Red Sox. He mentioned Will Tribuker on the mound for the Whitecaps, the lefty out of the University of Michigan. He's had success against this YD Red Sox squad. How can he repeat it tomorrow?
Yeah, that was news to us that Tribuker was going to start tomorrow, and I think for him it's all about control. It's all about throwing strike 1 with Will Tribuker and making sure he gets as much soft contact as he can. It's funny, we talked about how Tony Losi is a guy who strikes a lot of guys out but can still get soft contact. When Tribuker's working, he can get strikeouts as well. That's what he did against YD, but mainly he's a guy who's looking to make them soft contact. And at Brewster's home ballpark back at Stony Brook Field, which is much larger than the park here, it'll work a little bit better, I think, for Tribuker. But for him, like Maura mentioned in the post-game interview, they're going to have plenty of arms available in the bullpen to relieve him, but he's just got to throw strike 1 and try and be efficient on the mound. That's all you can ask for. I mean, Brewster had a terrific game today. They just got to try and put it together and close the door in the 9th.
Yeah, they certainly did for 8 innings, and they actually were a strike away a couple of times there in the 9th inning, including to Kyle Isbell, who had fell behind, even the count at 2-2, fouled one off, and then singled to right, setting the stage for Cortez's 3-run home run. Either way, Game 1 to the YD Red Sox, 8-5 on a walk-off 3-run home run from Carlos Cortez. Game 2 tomorrow at Stony Brook Field between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox. Will Tribuker on the mound for the Whitecaps in that do-or-die game. First pitch scheduled for 4 p.m. between YD and Brewster. That'll just about wrap it up for Carter Woodeel and Maura Sheridan. I'm Aiden Doyle here on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Thank you all for listening, and have a wonderful and safe Saturday night.